Welcome back, everyone. Sheepdog Smokey here, and we have more of the same from CNN. Let's dive in. CNN's Don Lemon cuts off guest who accused him of contributing to the political divide. CNN anchor Don Lemon lashed out at former White House aide Cliff Sims over President Donald Trump's Charlottesville remarks and ended the segment early after he was accused by his guest of contributing to the political divide in the country. While covering the White House Correspondents' Dinner and the rally Trump held simultaneously in Green Bay on Saturday night, CNN's Allison Camerota began the conversation by criticizing President Trump's pivot from his somber rally remarks about the deadly synagogue shooting in Poway, California, to his fiery attacks against the Russia investigation. Sims responded by saying all Americans were watching the same movie and how they were seeing dramatically different things when it comes to the Trump presidency. He used Lemon's response to Charlottesville as an example that his views of Trump's remarks are diametrically opposed to many others, including himself, adding that Trump did condemn white supremacy. Then you're delusional. Then you're delusional, Cliff. Lemon talked over Sims. You're saying because the president says words that are hollow, because the president says we should come together. I couldn't hear anything you just said, Don, because you insisted on talking over me, Sims shot back. So I really don't know what you're saying right now. If you stop talking, then we won't be talking over each other, and I will let you respond, Lemon said. Well, you want to interview me, Sims exclaimed. You asked me to come on your program, so give me a chance to talk. Lemon accused the Team of Vipers author, saying that the president's words don't matter, which Sims denied. Sims then challenged Lemon to give an example of Trump being a white supremacist. I never called the president a white supremacist, so you're watching the wrong program or you're not hearing what I'm saying. What I've called the president is racist, the CNN anchor said. When you call a nation's S-hole countries, when you call African American players SOBs, when you say there are fine people on both sides, when you lie about it afterwards. Sims attempted to explain that Trump was saying there were fine people on both sides of the debate over Confederate statues, but Lemon insisted that's not what the president said. I'm actually going to stop here and show you what the president said. You see here, excuse me, they didn't put themselves down as neo-Nazis, and you had some very bad people in that group. But you also had people that were very fine people on both sides. You had people in that group, excuse me, I saw the same pictures as you did. You had people in that group that were there to protest the taking down of, to them, a very, very important statue and the renaming of a park from Robert E. Lee to another name. Of course, then they go on to talk about it and everything else, but then you see I'm not talking about the neo-Nazis and white supremacists because they should be condemned totally. But you had many people in that group and other than neo-Nazis and white nationalists, okay? And the press has treated them absolutely unfairly. Now, in the other group, also, you had some fine people, but you also had troublemakers. And you see them come out with black outfits and with helmets and with baseball bats. You had a lot of bad people in the other group, too. This is exactly what CNN does not want because it shows that their side of the argument, as it were, is actually worse than the people wearing Make America Great Again hats or whatnot. You can see here, it says, after another heated exchange, the former Trump aide accused Lemon of contributing to stoking division by relitigating the Charlottesville remarks. I'm not the person who said there are fine people on both sides, Lemon fired back. I'm not the person who called countries S-hole countries. You actually don't even know if I said that because that's another one of those based on anonymous and people in the room say blah, 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 blah. You actually don't know if he said that, Sims told Lemon. Yes, I do know that he said that, Lemon claimed, and it's not blah, blah, blah. The CNN Tonight host had enough of Sims and cut the segment short, shifting to someone he says tried to bring this country together. And that's you, Don. You had a great job at that, Sims sarcastically added before his mic was cut out. Lemon was actually referring to President Barack Obama. This is a perfect example to me of the vast majority of the liberal mainstream media today. When you don't toe the party line, when you dare to show proof that they are demonstrably wrong on a subject, you're silenced, you're cut off. I'm honestly surprised that when the man said, "You invited me here, please let me talk," Lemon didn't just have the entire feed cut. But Lemon apparently has just enough brains left to know that if he completely cuts all conservatives or non ultra-left liberals out totally, he'll lose the last dozen or so viewers that he has. You can see by the image I showed, which I will post a link to or I will post in the comments. But you can see there that the president specifically said neo-Nazis and white supremacists should be totally condemned. But then, when confronted with this, of course, Lemon, like all other good liberals, those words are hollow. He didn't mean them. They're now psychic. They're now human polygraphs. They know just by hearing the words, not even spoken by the man who said them, that those are lies. They know that when Barack Obama said, when the political winds shift, I will stand with the Muslims, well, he didn't really mean that. He was just saying that because, of course, that tells people that Barack Obama would not stand with Americans. But when Donald Trump says he condemns neo-Nazis and he condemns white supremacists, but he says there were other people there protesting the removal of a historic monument. That, of course, he wasn't talking about the people who just wanted the monument to stay. He was actually saying the neo-Nazis were fine people. Even though he said totally condemn them, he didn't mean that. Don Lemon is a pathological liar, as is Anderson Cooper, Jim Acosta, Maddow, Joe, Mika, all of them. They are all so beholden to the Democratic National Committee for their ratings and everything else because they get leaked information. CNN gets the leak that Roger Stone is going to be arrested in a pre-dawn raid on a septuagenarian, possible, I believe he may actually be an octogenarian, by armed FBI agents who are going to all but bust down the door and drag him by his hair to a car. And of course, they're set up with news crews ready when all of it goes down. So, of course, Lemon and the rest of them have to protect their golden goose of the DNC to keep getting all of the leaks. I'm personally at this point waiting for the full declassification of a lot of things. And it's been hinted at and so on. And no, I don't think we, the general public, will see the FISA application, but officials in the DOJ and the FBI and the CIA and Congress will. And when this happens, people are going to be called and asked, you specifically said on this page that the dossier was unverified. Why then was it used as the sole proof to get a FISA warrant? And we're going to start seeing people made to answer tough questions. And honestly, they need to. We need to know why, in 2016, the sitting president was aware of Russian interference in the election and did nothing, why he weaponized the American intelligence organization to spy on a campaign that we now, after over 2 years and millions of dollars, know did not collude with Russia and did not obstruct justice. We need to know why James Comey exonerated Hillary Clinton before the investigation even began. We need to know why people demanded Trump be impeached for obstruction for firing James Comey before an investigation into all of this happened. And we need these people to stand and be made to answer. And the difficulty there comes with you can't just arrest and drag into court. It is a long process. Trust me. Even the process of someone accidentally starting a fire due to neglect and being charged and then tried and so on took months upon months in a town that had less than 5,000 residents. That's where I was a volunteer firefighter. We had a fire that we put out rather quickly, and we saved the bulk of the land and the surrounding area. And then the arson investigator came in, found that it was due to neglect. We actually found the person whose neglect caused the fire. That person was ultimately charged with neglectful destruction of property and ultimately made to pay the damages. And all of that took many, many months. And that was in a tiny little town. Imagine what the national level is going to have to go through to see anyone charged with anything they've done. We've had 2 years, and we now have an AG with teeth. And honestly, I hope this person right here, Don Lemon, is watched very closely. And when something is leaked to him, so that he can be the first one to cover a breaking story that ends up being a nothing burger, we can then say, where did you get your information? That was classified. Why were you letting it out on national television? It needs to happen. And I'm sad to say we're going to have to see some very high-profile people go to jail for a long time before the others realize we're not immune from prosecution. We're not above the law. We have a three-tiered justice system. We have the politicians who are exempt from everything. We have the media establishment, which is protected by the politicians. And then we have we, the peons and peasants. And that needs to stop. Don Lemon is losing viewers, right and left, deserting like a sinking ship, because he pulls crap like this. Invite someone on your show, then berate them, talk over them, refuse to let them speak otherwise, insult them, tell them they are a liar, and then cut their mic and cut the segment. This is nothing but a publicity ploy by Lemon to later claim he was treated in a racist, homophobic manner by a former Trump aide because, of course, they all are racists. But I've spoken on this long enough. Let me know what you think. Keep the comments civil. We do not learn from argument, we learn from debate. As always, make sure to like, comment on, and share this video, as well as to subscribe and turn on notifications so that you're among the first to know of all new content as it is posted. Until next time, everyone have a wonderful day.